Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to CubedChemistry. I'm Oliver, and today, that's right, you've guessed it. You're reading the title, Cubed Chemistry Reviews the Joker movie. So further ado, let's get into it. Wait a minute. What are we doing? Oh, wait a minute. This is a Sunday, and we're playing Minecraft? It's not Minecraft Monday. What's going on? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? What is this I have? Wait a minute. Oh, I got a present. Ah!
Hello, Cubesters.
Hello.
Oh no. It's not you. Oh, that is you. Oh.
Hello.
Of course. Of course this is the CubedChemistry channel. So we've got our guests, well, I wouldn't say guests, but we've got guest clowns. I hope none of you are scared of clowns.
Why would anyone want to be scared of a clown?
I don't know. Why would anyone want to be scared of a clown? Let's get rid of the rest of this present, and then we'll go into survival, and we'll continue our discussion. Okay, survival please. So this is the podcast room, and the butterfly. Very good, clown. Who thought you were so creative? So, ladies and gentlemen, of course you should know these voices. It has been a while behind the scenes of this channel, so we thought we'll liven it up a bit with a bit of something a little bit different, a little bit comedic, maybe a little bit even scary for some of you. But I want you to guess in the comment section below which clown is who, and also there'll be a poll in the video, but we'll let you know at the end of this video. Anyway, so you came here to see the Joker review, right? Did we all come here to do the Joker review, or do you just dress up normally like that?
I thought I was going to a show.
I thought it.
Oh, you thought you was going to show? Well, the circus is that way, pal. CubedChemistry circus.
Okay, pal.
By the time of recording this, it's nearly Halloween, and let us know what your going is. Oh, you back again? Didn't they accept you? Did they say sorry, no professionals?
I'm going home now. Sorry.
So, that clown, good thing we got the joking out of the way. Now let's take a second and sit down and talk about the movie.
By the way, this video contains spoiler alerts. So if you haven't seen the movie, then don't watch this video. And if you do watch this movie, even if you have seen the video, then don't comment spoilers, because we warned you. So you can just bear off.
Yep.
Yes.
You can bear with us. So I guess we'll get right into the video right now. So the reason why we're not showing clips of the film is because we don't want to get done for copyright. We're just starting out our channel. But first off, let's talk about the intro to the Joker. The start off where he's doing his makeup.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, what did everyone think to the intro though of the movie? Like the transition. Are you gonna clown around all night?
Very nice.
Business.
Well,
Business.
the introduction scene, of course. We saw Big Joe Kane, or as we see him in the film, as Arthur Fleck. Wink, wink. We see him doing his makeup in his chair, and then he does his smile. But that man, ladies and gentlemen, he ain't smiling. No.
He's putting on a smile. Yeah.
Indeed.
He's trying to put on the best
As we
smile.
see when he puts his fingers in his mouth and tries to smile. You know, I think that scene was quite good because you know it shows you the way he thinks. You know, he's quite depressed. He's low in the world, but he always tries to put on a happy face.
That's smart. And with that, he always, I found, like, how do I put it? He always, like, even though he was depressed, he always tried his best by others, even that small bit where he was always trying to uplift other people's spirits.
Indeed.
Like, you know, I think we can all agree there. And then, let's talk about, I guess, the bit what followed after that was the sign.
Yeah,
What was in the trailer, so we're not really spoiling that. Yeah, so his sign gets stolen
Damn
by a
kids.
group of kids. And let's talk a real moment about that. Like, there was no real need for that. And it was even
course there
petty.
wasn't.
And, you know, he just took it, you know, he was chasing after them because he needed money for his job.
Yeah.
And, I mean, also, I guess we're not jumping too much of the gun, but when he, like, you know, said, when he went into his boss's office, he thought he kept the sign for himself. Like, and then he was denying it, said it got stolen, and the boss still didn't believe him about the sign. I mean,
Yeah.
that, that was
Especially
kind of
his boss
harsh.
was a bit of an ass too. You know, it's like Arthur really had very, very little good going for him. All he ever thought he had in his life was his mother, who we'll get to later.
Yeah, we will. So what point would you like to point out next? Because we got set bullet points on our notes. So what point
Yes.
would you like to go with?
Well, the next point, ladies and gentlemen watching, we're going to talk about is we're going to do maybe a slight jump to when he was on the subway.
Yep.
And there were
Okay.
the three men. They were
Okay.
harassing the woman, and you know, then they went over to Arthur or Joker, whatever you want to call him, and that scene was indeed his first 3 kills. So,
I
let's talk
wouldn't.
about
I wouldn't have associated him with Joker just yet, but I would say he was still very much Arthur in that state.
that. Yes.
But yeah. So
I did like the
just before
interesting shots of like the lights flickering on the train.
Oh, that was
Just
quite nice.
add-
Yeah,
just
that
add-
was nice.
just added
A very
to the-
well done scene.
Yeah,
No,
the
really just felt quite
choreography.
tragic.
It did. So before that, we gotta talk a little bit just before him and his psychiatrist for a second. I felt like, you know, because that was like after they're kind of like stopping his medication and like stop his, you know, like, you know, psychiatrist appointments because of budget
Because of-
cuts or funding, as they said. Yeah.
Which was quite crap. But then again, you got to think about it.
Because yeah.
The therapy sessions weren't really helping Arthur very much.
True,
You know, he
but,
still felt really low.
and she wasn't really listening, like, to, like, his wishes,
Exactly.
because he could articulate himself very well. You know, it wasn't like he was struggling to communicate how he felt. It's just that she didn't really care or understand.
Yeah.
She just shrugged it off, kind of thing. That's the impression I got, anyway.
And do you see that? Because as soon as the budget cuts happen, she's more than happy to just say, well, aye.
Yeah. There was no real connection between the two of them to, like, you know, form a bond kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're now back at the subway scene. I mean, he just burst out laughing, and you know the guys group around him, and then they start beating him up. And I mean, sure, it was a little bit more than that, but that was the main gist of it. And then, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, really felt quite... You know, fun fact, actually gave me a fright in the cinema because I wasn't expecting him. I wasn't expecting that to be his first kill. I thought that just would have been another scene showing him getting beat. So when I heard the gunshot, which was really loud in the cinema, actually,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was more
I
louder
jumped. I
than
was like,
usual.
holy
Cinema.
Shazams.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom,
Shazams.
boom. Gonna shoot you right down.
Yeah.
But I mean, I find it strange in the sense that he didn't go for the women, like the woman who got away afterwards. But I feel like at that point he was a bit like a vigilante in some kind of sense. I know that it's kind of a bit weird now that you've watched it, but he was protecting a woman. Like, he was like getting them to stop bother that woman on the train, and you know, he took the beating for that woman. And you know, but by the time when he killed, you don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think that he was just having one of his laughing moments.
Yeah,
Because it'd be
I
like,
feel
think about
like,
it. It'd be like she looked at him and he did nothing.
True, but he
I
steered the
remember.
situation away. I feel like he
That-
steered the
yeah,
situation
so-
away from her though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did and he didn't.
Yeah, kind of mixed about that. I kind of agree with your point too. But so moving on, like to the third kill, where he's crawling away on stairs.
Yeah, and he just
not
how he
him, but one of the-
ruthlessly chases him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when he's like
the gun out.
chases him, and he doesn't hesitate at that moment. He's already
Not at all.
furiously looking him down like an animal getting hunted by a hunter. He
It's
had
like
that
he'd-
moment.
Just in that
Yeah.
moment, he'd had enough, and once he had his first 2 kills, he was like, "Whoa!" You know, I think that was a good moment for Arthur himself because it's almost like the character finally felt some sort of power, like he could do something. You know?
And something where he felt in control, like an actual
Exactly,
in
yeah.
control of his like feelings.
You know, he felt. I think that gave him a confidence boost.
Yeah,
He
maybe
felt-
not in the right way, but
Not in
he
the right
felt-
way, but
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he felt like
But-
he was in control of that.
like control of like his action. For once, he never really felt like that. Like from the point up, he was always like getting bossed around. And let's just talk about. I feel like we jumped a little bit. Excuse the pun, but skipping the gun a bit about the gun itself, about his friend ratting him
Yeah, the
out.
friend at work.
Oh,
Ratted him
so-called
out to
friend.
the boss, got him fired.
Yeah. For apparently he's
I mean,
he's
as
saying
well
that,
after
he didn't.
dropping it in the
yeah.
hospital.
Yeah, and I don't know what to make of that scene. That was
Yeah,
the way it just drops out, and everyone just like it's like a pin dropped in that hospital. It's just a moment of silence.
I know.
It's like everyone just looks around in the silent room.
Yeah.
But yeah, his friend gave him the gun, and then said that he tried to buy it off him. And yeah, we'll feature that a bit later. What happened, to him.
that guy.
Yeah, to that guy. But so I think we're happy to move on to the next bit of the topic.
Yes.
Or want to add anything more to that bit?
Curtis, you got anything to say about it?
Yeah,
No.
Curtis.
Continue.
Alright. Okie dokie, so I think
Alright.
the next point we'll cover is his imaginary girlfriend, or his, his hallucinations
Oh, yes.
of the girl.
Yeah.
And I think that was quite an important part. And I still debate it
Indeed.
myself. It's like, was the scene in the elevator real, or was it just the other scenes that were fake?
That it was clever.
You don't
done.
really
I
know.
will.
It's
The
clever,
elevator
yeah,
was
cleverly
real.
done.
The elevator was real. 100%.
I
I
will
like
say
to
the
think the
elevator bit was
elevator
real.
was real, but maybe
I
the
don't
rest
think
of
the
it
bit-
was...
In the beginning, though, when she did the handgun like to her head symbol, like blowing your brains out kind of thing, I don't think that bit was particularly real. I think
think it
that's what
was.
triggered it. I think it seemed out of place for her though. From what we saw later on from the real her, when just skipping it in a bit, when she sees him in the apartment, she seems really petrified for someone who would do that willingly, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. You know?
Read.
I know we're skipping the gun a bit, but it's a really done scene. Like, so yeah, it turns out there is a real woman. So for those who haven't seen it, there is a real woman. It's not like it's all in his head, but he has a
Yeah.
fantasy. It's more of a fantasy in his head than more of an illusion. The woman's very much real. Turns out it's a bit of a neighbor of his mum, who I think we should talk on briefly.
Yes,
Anyone
we'll
wanna talk about?
cover his mum, but I think the girl, what he imagined, I think that was created for, his want to have a friend, to have someone to love
Give me a second,
rather
lo-
than his mother, someone else who cared about him.
Give me a second, lads. I just need to grab something from home. But don't waste your time. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
This guy. Well, I guess we know which clown he is. That guy. So, well, that revealed itself. Well, we might as well go on to his mother, but not about the tragic thing what happens future in the film. But let's talk about the bond them two share, though. When he, even going back to the first bit where we really see him when he shoots the gun for the first time, before he shoots the guys, in fact, how he turns up the volume on the TV. He cares so much about his mum. He's a lone child, we presume.
You really see the love there with his mum as well, because when he had
the bath scene,
the vision of when he was on the show.
Yeah,
it's called now.
Yeah,
with that guy who we will talk about
Bill
later.
Murray.
Bill Murray, there we go. He spoke so highly of his mother. I live with my mother. I love her very much.
Yeah.
You really see
when
that
they're watching it together on the bed. Yeah. And where his famous mother puts on the quote, "Always put on a smile."
Indeed.
And that will be a recurring theme throughout this film, this movie.
Indeed.
But how do I put it? I always feel like that bond kind of, I'm not gonna lie, kind of thinks of me and my mother. I come from like a single mum. We're very close, I don't mind admitting that on here on CubedChemistry. But it was interesting to see it played out that way, because you don't get to see many people have that kind of bond, and it really kind of like gelled with me, especially because he never knew like his dad, or he never knew if he had any siblings and stuff like that. And he was always caring for his mum. Like, he was bathing her. There was a scene when she was in the bathtub. He was just washing her hair,
Yeah.
And always looking in, even in the post box. He was looking in the post box for a mail. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
And, stuff that
did everything, and that scene when he was, I can't remember if he was helping her into bed or whatever, but she got
when
up
he
and
brought, like,
he
the
just wanted to have a nice
plates.
dance with his mother to what was on the TV.
Yeah.
The film really just does a really good job at showing that bond.
Yeah,
Which,
I think we can agree.
Which, we'll get on to later.
But so I guess what would be the next point, man?
Well, I think the next point we could talk about is his encounter with Bruce Wayne, actually. Now, we are maybe jumping a little bit, but this is just
bit
the way
back
that
and forth.
I've ordered my review sheet.
Notes. And
But
not
yeah,
only that,
I feel like the scene with Bruce was short, but it really foreshadowed. It felt important.
It didn't need to be long though, I don't think. It didn't need to be drawn
it
out.
didn't
I think
even
it
need
would
to
have
be
took
long.
away from it. Yeah. It did its job.
When he peered by and put on the clown nose, and then appeared at the gate.
And then put on like put his
on
hands through the gate, and
happy
Bruce
face.
like smiling. Like
Yeah.
actually put his hand through the gates. That
It's
was
great foreshadowing.
Yeah.
What feels like such a subtle scene.
Yeah. And let's just talk a moment, because I know that someone who walked out earlier, and I'm just taking time, I think he's running a bit late. About... Oh,
So sorry. I got us cookies.
Yes.
A little bit of refreshments.
do you have a cup of milk to go with these?
I do actually. There you go.
Well, you give me a cup of milk, you said... Oh, okay.
Well, he gets 2 cups of milk then.
So, you want to explain about that, Mr. LG? Or
Anyway, Anyway, what did we get to?
We'll
just
talk
talking
about that.
about
We
the
want to
Bruce
hear...
Wayne.
No, we were talking about the
Bruce
cup of
Wayne.
milk.
Bruce
We were
Wayne,
talking
yeah.
about the cup of milk.
Bruce
We'll hear
Wayne,
the
yes.
story quickly. Bit in. Come on.
Alright, so one evening I was thirsty and there were no glasses left, so I had to put my milk in a fucking cup.
You're not... What are you laughing about? I've done that before. He's not the only one.
What, a plastic cup of milk?
Boo!
No, a teacup.
Who calls it a cup of milk though? Even if you have a cup, you could just say a glass of milk.
But anyway, we're being sidetracked here. This is
Are
not
we?
about talking about milk. But yes,
Says the one who
Bruce-
brought cookies and milk. Cheers.
So we discussed how he put the smile on Bruce's face and the foreshadowing that was there.
Ah,
And we
yes.
was gonna get to the bit where you had a weird thing about Alfred, because
Oh,
I did agree with
oh,
that
yeah.
point.
This man right here thought that the guy who did the Alfred looked like Ricky Gervais.
Yep.
Just- we
Not
love
like
you,
identical.
but come on now.
Even the bit with Alfred as well.
Not like identical look like hairstyle and maybe a bit of the beard.
I'm not gonna lie, I did think Alfred was gonna play a bit more into the movie. If I'm honest, like accompanying Thomas into some
didn't.
scenes.
I didn't.
I mean, I think it would be nice, but to be honest, they need a film about Alfred. That'd be good. Yeah, that's all I can picture. A film about Alfred.
Just like yeah. Well, I mean, like in
He's back
Gotham,
in war
wasn't he like a
days.
soldier for a bit?
Yeah, he was a soldier, so yeah. I mean, we
be
could do
fair-
a review on Gotham, maybe.
To be fair,
Sure.
my favourite Alfred, Alfred. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was in like Batman, the film Batman.
He was in Batman. Wow.
No,
Okay, everybody,
No,
clap your
no,
hands.
the
He's
film,
in
no,
Batman.
no, the film Batman,
That's a joke
starring
I
Jack
heard.
Nicholson as the Joker. I loved that. I loved
What
that
about Michael
Alfred.
Caine? We
Ah,
love
Well,
Michael
anyway,
Caine.
getting
Michael
us
Caine.
back on track with the review.
Yep.
The bit where he strangled Alfred through the
Oh,
bars
yes.
because he spoke about his mother.
Yeah,
Again,
well,
showing the
that's-
bond with his mother, but just showing, just showing
Let's-
how violent
Yeah.
Arthur was becoming. He ain't taking
And not only
no
that,
crap
let's
now.
talk about why he was there.
Yeah.
That could lead on to our next point.
On to our next point as well, because he thought
Topic.
that Thomas Wayne was his dad.
Because of a note that his mother writ to Thomas. What he found.
Yeah.
So, could you imagine though, Thomas Wayne, and it turns out Bruce Wayne and Joker were actually half brothers though? How would you feel about that? Just a quick question. They are like yin and yang. I feel like the one is dark and one is light, even though they're both called the Dark Knight and the Clown Prince of Crime. But you know what I mean. How do you guys feel about that? I think it would ruin the dynamic between the two,
Be
though.
interesting,
Well-
but yeah, it would kind of ruin the dynamic.
I feel like it would be a nice spin-off on its own, like a little comic book series, but not like an actual link in the universe.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
And then on his
shall we follow
mother
the...
as well,
Yeah.
and then we'll probably talk about the scene with Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, what scene do
Yeah.
you want to do next? The scene with his mum.
And then he goes.
So,
where was it? He went
his
to
mum
go
has a
get
stroke.
record on his mother or something
Yeah.
Arkham
Meanwhile, she
Hospital.
has a stroke.
Arkham Asylum.
in
Yeah.
Arkham.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she has a stroke, and she's in a hospital at this point
Goes-
of the movie.
He goes to look at, I think, his mother's records,
Yep.
and that, I think, was a crucial turning point for Arthur. And not
I
just
think that was the
stealing
main
it off the
crucial
guy,
point.
but when he found out
he
that,
uncovered.
drum roll
Yep.
please,
Spoiler alert. There we go.
drum roll.
I don't have a drum roll.
Mr. Clown. 'Cause- oh, you know me.
So,
You have one job.
I don't
right,
have a drum roll.
his mother wasn't his mother.
Oh.
Turns out
I just spilt my milk.
that his mother wasn't so nice after all. Considering
No.
that she just let his, it was his dad or his stepdad or something,
Her mum,
let him
his,
abuse him,
her boyfriend.
beat him,
Her boyfriend.
I think he tied him against the radiator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be hard to
Yeah.
tell you exactly what
mean,
he
like-
did because we didn't get to pause the like movie, so to speak, and read all the notes. But there's
Yeah.
quite a lot.
I mean, like
To go.
before, the reason why he goes there was because he broke into the theater to speak to Bruce Wayne. No, not Bruce Wayne. Thomas Wayne.
Thomas.
Yes.
In scene as well, Thomas
Well,
punches
that was a
the
powerful
Joker.
Yep.
Well,
Because
that's
he's
what
like, this
Thomas
can't be
done.
real. This can't be real because your mum is delusional. She's a liar and stuff like that. Not stuff he wanted to hear. He was very in denial about the whole thing. And he was trying to be reasonable though at that point, I think, no, because he was just like, if you remember, he was like, all I want you to do is be honest. I don't ask for much. I can't quote the whole thing, but you know, he's not like
Yeah.
asking for the world. He's just asking for people to treat him with respect and be honest at this point, you know?
Yeah.
But even Thomas Wayne wasn't interested and, you know, punched him in the face.
Punched him because he was laughing a
Yep.
little.
Which,
Maybe a
with
little
linking to the notes, was part of his... Because people thought it was a joke, him laughing erratically. As well, because he had the card, a prop. He used to,
Yeah.
you know, that scene on the bus, which,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a major scene, but there is a scene, which you see on the trailer. But you can see it, where the kid on the bus.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, he gets beat at the back of the head by his mum's boyfriend, and that's why, spoiler alert, he actually laughs. It's not something he can help, because it's like brain damage to the back of his head.
Yeah. Quite, really
So,
quite sad.
yeah.
You know, for the character he ends up to be, you really just feel bad for him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's
I mean,
not
Joaquin
like
Phoenix really did a fantastic job.
I feel like he made the best out of a bad situation, and maybe not the right way, but no one was giving him anything. No one was helping him. He became stronger within himself to believe in himself, but, you know, kind of, yeah, so I guess we're kind of wrapping up. What's the next point then in your
And
notes?
I think, talking about his mother, we obviously have to talk about his mother's demise.
Yeah.
When he walked
Putting it
into
lightly,
her hospital
demise.
room after reading everything,
Mm-hmm.
grabbed her pillow, and
Smothered her.
suffocated her.
Yep.
Just
And
smothered
that
her.
scene was so compelling, like,
Yeah.
like, I don't think he did it because he wanted to. I think he did it. It's more like, I felt like it was a mercy thing. He was angry, but he did it as well because he didn't want to see her in pain.
Yeah.
Like, I see both sides to it. I felt like he was annoyed at her, but ultimately, if you think about it like this, right? This is actually interesting. I've only just thought this. Ready? Can you stay?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Cookie.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. If you remember, think about this for a second, right? It's the only kill in the film, in the whole of the film, that he never makes eye contact, face to face. He's distanced himself with the pillow. Think about it for a
Yeah.
second. That's interesting. He can't look at what he's doing to her, really, you know? You can't look eye contact because there's still some connection there.
Yeah, again,
Still
showing
some
his
love.
bond
Yeah,
with
yeah.
his mother.
Yeah, I only just picked up on, like, you know, that was the first kill that he never really saw, like, eye contact with.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very powerful scene.
I personally just
And
think
then-
he was just fed up. Fed
Yeah.
up with all the lies and everything and just suffocated.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, but
We just
so
lost it at this point.
yeah.
We just didn't know what
I
to
mean,
think.
but I feel like when he did
Eventually
kill
just-
her,
what to do.
I feel like he was free. Like, there was nothing weighing him
Oh, yeah.
down. Though we can all agree on that.
He had nothing
yeah.
to lose
Like,
at this
there's
point.
nothing. Nothing.
I mean, like, yeah, because I mean, like, after he shot the 3 rich people in the tube, like when he was in the public toilets, he was kind of like dancing, just like he kind of had like
Yeah,
a,
doing like a ritual.
well, no, not a ritual,
Yeah.
just kind of like a kind of like I don't know what's the word.
Yeah,
but
dance
just kinda
ritual.
like
He's
No,
doing
not-
classical dancing.
kind of, yeah, but he just like felt like all relaxed now, just like, oh, that feels better, sort of thing.
Yeah.
After taking a big dump.
Then leading on from the scene with, you know, when he ended his mother. When he went home,
Yeah.
and I think that's when he applied the green hair dye and started painting himself, preparing for
The interview. Yep.
preparing for Bill Murray's show.
Yep, which
And
he
then
got
that's
because
when-
Bill Murray
and
made
then
him
the
a joke.
backstabber arrives. The guy who told the police and the boss that he sold the gun to Arthur,
Indeed.
which we all know, and everybody who's watching this right now, who's seen it, we all know that it's a complete and utter lie.
And then
Indeed.
what happens to
And
that
Arthur-
guy when he hit him?
And Arthur, Arthur's literally just like, you can see in his eyes, because he acts all humble and just like, oh yeah, come on in. But you can tell in his eyes, he's just like,
You
But the
did.
fact, I think that was the switch, where he could switch in and out of calm and crazy. Just the
Yeah.
way he invites them in. He's perfecting his
And then he
craft.
invites them in just a brutal scene with the scissors. Like you
Oh, man.
slit him in the neck, and he fell
In-
back
in
against
the
the bit
head.
of the
That's
wall.
why-
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I
Bashed
always
him.
say. That's why I always say scissors aren't just used for cutting. They can be used for other things.
Which we do not promote here at CubedChemistry.
No, definitely not.
Indeed, we do not condone it.
So, yeah,
Don't
that was
stab
a
things
powerful
And
scene.
Powerful scene as well. You really see the rage you felt because of him ratting him out and everything. Well, he didn't really rat him out.
I
he
think that
lied,
it was the
but,
most
you know,
brutal kill
constantly.
he did, though. Like, I know that
yeah.
most of them
Oh,
are like
definitely.
all brutal, but there was a lot more aggression than normal.
No.
Even compared to
Yeah.
the third one, I think we can all agree. Because
Indeed.
he killed them, but then in the third kill, the one on the stairs, like he shot him a few times, but then he went off. But then in this scene where the guy backstabbed him, he definitely went overkill.
Oh yeah.
And
Bashed.
I felt that was more than usual. That was more than the
You could
third
just see
kill
the
he did on the
blood
stairs.
going down him
On his face.
neck, just going floor.
And the poor old midget.
And the midget. Okay, we can't
Yeah.
move on without talking about the midget.
I'm not gonna lie, that was
Can
probably
we-
one of the funniest but serious scenes. But it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
But can we just say that isn't like the actor for the guy who backstabbed Arthur? Wasn't he in like the first season of Gotham? Like one of the families, mob families? He looks a bit like
I
it
couldn't
was.
tell you.
He looked a bit like
not
Falcon?
what's his
Falcone,
name?
but the
Not
rival,
Falcone, the other
Falcone.
guy. Maroney.
Maroney.
Who owned the
Um,
spaghetti,
Sort of. I
like
don't
the
think
Italian
it was the
restaurant.
same. It might have been, but
Mm.
I can definitely see the resemblance now. But yeah, the bit with the midget when he had to open the door for him, you could tell how scared the midget was, but it was hilarious. I laughed my ass off. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and not only that, how he kissed them on their forehead before letting them out.
Yeah.
Just like I feel like Arthur, like even at this point, he still has some kind of twisted code what works in his head because he could have easily killed him, but he doesn't. He actually has respect for him, in some kind of respect, like
Because he was always
letting
nice
him
to
live. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing, and it kind of humanized the Joker. I think this movie, like the more you watch it, it's kind of like. I'm so glad they didn't go down the route of him falling into chemicals. Let's be honest. I think kind of would. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen to him. The Joker is always going to fall in chemicals, but at this
Oh,
moment
this
in time,
Joker didn't, did he? No, he didn't. Shh.
in the future, Oliver,
Shh.
shh, have a cookie.
It's okay. Okay. I have loads of
So, yeah.
as well, creative.
Very well done.
Have another
scene.
cookie.
And then
So, I guess we're getting to the bit of the
with that
final
part
bit.
wrapped up,
Yeah.
think we're getting to
The
our
Bill
final
Murray
point.
shooting.
Bill Murray.
I liked Bill
now
Murray in
that-
the sense he was a good host,
Yeah,
It was quite funny,
good host,
but
funny.
but
Well, he's
But-
just like any talk show host. They're always
I
funny.
feel like he did beat Arthur Penn like a bit, like, you know, I feel like Arthur Fleck, sorry, he basically, I feel like he kind of goaded him, like saying, when we're all laughing at you now, buddy, you know, I feel like, you know, he
Well,
even
no
him
one's
took a
laughing
little shot.
now. You can just say that.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, but let's talk about that scene where he has arrived, and that's where he officially becomes the Joker, where he gets them to call him the Joker for the first time.
And he has his suit
It's
and
the
his
iconic bit.
dye and his clown face.
But
He
also,
does-
one thing that we forgot to mention, or maybe you have mentioned, but you know, I went to give
The
it some
chase
food.
scene.
No, not even
Was
that.
he getting
Not
chased
even
to
that.
them?
It
Go on.
was when he murdered those 3 rich people. He sparked a uprising. He wore makeup,
True.
and people thought there was a mask. So people like just dressed up as his killer and started an uprising.
That
And
is
at
the
first-
bit where I have to stop you. At the same time, I agree with that in some way, but how much of that do we actually know was an illusion inside his head? Think about it though. He was already delusioning a woman. It could be the things that he wanted to see.
True, but
I don't think he imagined the clown protests.
he wouldn't have imagined it, because if you remember, he said that he didn't believe in it to begin with, but then like on
Because
the
Bill Murray mentioned it as well, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think it got like later to the stage. But you know, when he saw the clown mask in the taxi when he's with the imaginary woman, that clown mask. I think that bit was imaginary.
maybe.
I think
yeah.
he was imagining. You know what I
Maybe.
mean? There were
Maybe that
stages.
Maybe. Who
But
knows?
the rest of it.
Yeah, I agree with that point. But I think like he was starting to imagine an army, but it finally came together
We did.
as well. Yeah.
And then getting
So,
into
talking
the
about
actual
the
Bill
conversation.
Murray show.
The comedy, how he laughs at the wrong places, awkwardly,
Yeah.
when he's trying to take notes.
He goes in, he does a little dance. Sits
no one
down,
cheers for him,
shakes
no
his
one laughs.
hand. Exactly. Then he sits down and he confesses to killing the 3 guys. And
Much to the
Bill
shock of
Murray
everyone.
thought it was a joke. Very sick joke.
Don't think
but a
about
joke.
the forgetting kissing the girl he was just sitting next to.
Oh,
That-
poor
that
woman.
big smooch.
Poor
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah, big smooch. It's just
She
forget
looked
about the
mortified. She was like, I've just been kissed by a clown.
Oh, someone fetch my makeup. Oh, I don't want to wear makeup. Clowns wear makeup.
But yes.
He
Yes, I
admitted to
think.
killing the 3 guys and then
Yeah.
Yeah. The bit, that particular bit was just like one of my favourite bits throughout the whole entire film. My
that's
number
probably
one,
of the most well done
my
scenes in the film, yeah.
my number one favourite, we'll get to later, because that will be probably the bit that we'll finish off on.
Okay. Well, not only that, I feel like, how do I put it? I feel like you kind of knew it was going to happen, but it still surprised you when it happened.
Yeah. Like, just how he got really angry there. He got so real about how people treated him and other people.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, I don't think
He was
because
threatening to call the
if-
police,
yeah.
Bill Murray was, and then he just,
Yeah, but
just shouted
but
at
Arthur-
him. He got up.
yeah, but Arthur didn't care. Arthur didn't care because I
Yeah.
mean, like at this point he's just given up, because literally, like he said, I think like during the therapy session, or even in Bill Murray's show, it's just like he's never been happy in his entire life.
His whole life.
His
Yeah.
whole life has just been pain.
All he
and
has
misery.
been
Which is very
films.
Yeah, as well. That was in the therapy one, and the one where he says he's never been happy in his whole life was Bill Murray. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
And
yeah, just when he suddenly got up after this, just the power when he was talking about how people treat other people, and he just
That
got
was
up,
powerful.
did this twist with his
Yeah.
feet,
Rich.
turned round, pulled the revolver.
The rich. Yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
just him just saying the rich take from the poor and all that.
yeah, and I don't
Bit of
think
a
like
kind of a Robin
reverse
Hood
Robin
cliche.
Hood. Yeah, but a lot of more.
Hey!
Listen,
Hey, we thought of the
Yeah, I
same
agree.
thing.
high five.
Yeah, have a cookie. Eh.
Yeah, you can have a cookie. Oh, look. Whoa. What cloud behind you? I just flew. Okay, settle down, settle down. So,
Have a cookie.
I mean, then we guess we're talking the last bits. So he shoots Bill Murray.
Which,
At this
Just how
point,
he
he's already
walks
lost.
away from.
I mean, like, it shocked me, but at the same time, I saw it coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
I think the time how it happened, and not only that, I think at this point Arthur Fleck is dead inside. There's no Arthur now. There's just Joker.
It's a joke.
Yeah,
There's
that's just
no-
Joker.
Yeah.
But can I just say, how crap on the security? You would have thought they would have checked him, but then again, it wouldn't have made a good movie. But even so,
No. You forget that gun was a prop. They thought it was fake. I'm joking now. No, they probably should have checked it. But hey, in hindsight, they wouldn't have had a powerful side.
wouldn't have made a good movie, would it? It wouldn't have made a good movie if
Nah,
the
nah,
security.
mate.
And then, after he gets out, you see him in the police car.
Then
He's
again,
crashed
Oh, yeah.
into. Somehow gets
And
up,
the riots.
and then you see the Waynes.
Oh yep,
Oh,
in the cinema.
Shut.
that's my favorite scene. Just like the classic.
I think that it just tied in so well.
it
Like,
did.
They fled
thought
from
how-
the theater during
yeah.
the
I would've-
protest, and then the one guy just appeared and shot him.
Exactly.
I like how they
And
didn't
do you
make
know-
it joke at you. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I know what you were gonna say. They're
Yeah.
like, and how the Joker shoots the parents. I get it why they didn't go with that because
Yeah, it's so
Bec-
cliche. Like Joker's responsible for Batman being Batman. It was nice
Yeah.
to see that someone else did
Yeah.
it, kind of for a
But-
change, like with an imposter.
I mean, like, there's been different, there's been different ways of how Bruce Wayne's parents were killed. Either it was a murderer,
Yeah, true.
like a random mugger, or in this case, a protester, and other times it's a
But it's always
Joker.
been in the same kind of
But
classic
the one
alleyway
thing,
mugging.
the one thing that always happens is obviously the parents being shot. Have you ever noticed the pearl
theatre.
rings? No, the pearl rings
Yes,
being
the
broken.
pearls.
The pearls.
Yeah,
that always
that's it.
happens. That always happens.
Yes.
I've always wondered what's so important about these pearl rings. The pearl necklace.
Their anniversary present, I think, from Thomas on
Hmm.
their first wedding or something. I can't vouch, but I got a feeling that's true.
Yeah.
But
Poor Bruce,
so,
And then just
what do you
before
mean, poor
we,
Bruce? He gets the kick-ass butler known as
and just
Alfred.
before
I
we
mean,
wrap up as
True,
well,
but
you know, you have the bit where he's just stood on top of the car, and he gets the blood that was in his face,
yeah,
just puts in the smile.
True,
yeah,
I was
turn-
expecting him
standing
to cut
around
his
and
cheeks,
cheering.
though.
no,
But still, they got the smile. I guess
true, yeah, they got the
blood
smile.
Yeah.
And then,
I was
of
expecting
course,
to cut the cheeks. Yeah.
the final scene, him in
Yes.
Arkham Asylum, talking to the therapist. Then, to cut a long story short, him just walking down the hallway. Obviously, kill the therapist because there's
Jolly.
blood prints. There's blood.
Oh, and they're not
yeah.
jam? They're not jam, are they? No, I thought
The ketchup
Well, actually,
was in-
funny story. I leaned over because I was watching it with my dad. I leaned over to my dad and I said, "I don't think that's jam. That's definitely blood."
Oh, what did he say?
he just chuckled.
Oh, wow. Good dad. So, yeah, it's worth noting that we didn't see this all together. Just want to point that out, sadly.
a mysterious
We had to
last
wait
scene
for a
to
while. End it on. Yeah.
end it on how you see him there.
Well, like in
True.
Arkham
I mean, it
Asylum.
makes you wonder, did he imagine the whole thing? And I suppose we'll talk about that now, because I think we'd agree we're
Yeah.
coming to a conclusion.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
personally, I don't
So,
think
I'm
he
going to
did.
ask the
I don't-
question.
I don't think it was all imagination. I think it happened.
Okay, so we have Curtis's verdict. Oliver, do you think it happened?
The whole events, I feel
Yes.
like it was half and half. I know that sounds stupid, but I think the first half was inside his head. Like, not the killings in the subway, but I feel like
How do you?
after that, he envisioned some things. I felt like he envisioned some things.
Yeah.
But they later came to life and it like actually worked. Like they, were hallucinations at first because we know that was a fact. He did suffer hallucinations.
Yeah.
But I feel like when the films got to the end, them hallucinations became reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that not all of us went to see the Joker together. Also, I mean, me and LG, we went to see it when it came out because this guy.
Opening night.
Oh, you be pointing the finger at me, Buster?
I'm not pointing a finger, can't you see? My hands are blocked. I don't have any fingers.
Mate, don't you mess with me. Don't you mess with me.
So, no, have a cookie. There's loads of cookies behind you. So not only that, so yeah, we had to wait a while for Curtis to see the review, but in a whole, I mean, what did we really think of the Joker movie then?
I thought it was fantastic. Easily one of my most favourite movies, if not.
Yeah, classical. This is the sad bit. This is the sad bit,
Here's the
guys.
sad bit.
Cue the music.
I just found it interesting. I think this movie would just be like one of the movies that I would watch once and maybe like every couple of years or something. I'd just watch it once. Because you see, the thing is that after the movie, it just gave me a really depressed feeling.
Then it's
It's done its job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's done its job, and I respect that. But
Stop clowning around. The man's having a review. He's having his opinion.
But in
That's a
overall,
disgusting combination.
I would out of 10, I would give it a solid.
We're doing out of 5. Out of 5s.
Okay, out of 5. Okay, out of 5, I'd give it a solid 3.
A solid 3. That sounds really low now.
No, get out. A 5.
But
I'm going to give it
Yeah.
a 5.
I think that is a great idea, but like, I think like I feel like it was good. It's classical, but the thing I liked about the film itself, I want to just touch on this before we wrap up, is I don't think you need to be a Batman film to, like Batman fan to go and see it. Yeah, it helps, but
Whoa.
What?
What are you doing? You just stand here to make your conclusion. Get over there.
No. Oh, okay. So, I think, I think that,
Boo!
like,
Boo!
even if,
No, I'm joking.
Shut up,
Dad, you be
Curtis.
quiet, we need to wrap.
Yeah.
But I would say, to be honest, like, even if you're not a Batman film, like, you're not a Batman fan,
Or a DC
I feel like
fan.
it doesn't take away. Yeah, I feel like you could still go and watch the film and enjoy it. I think we can agree on that.
Indeed.
I think it helps if you're a Batman fan or a DC fan, but I didn't feel like you needed to be to understand it and watch it, which I appreciate, you know? It's about a man's struggles, a man with all obstacles against him,
slowly descending into
madness.
madness. When you say?
but making the best of what he could have. Oh, speaking about madness, what are you two getting up to over there? But
shut
moving on. I would shut up, but then we'll never get to wrap up the video, would we?
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, let us know what you thought in the comment section below, and let us know what would you rate this review, this movie, the Joker movie, what we've been talking for just under an hour. Let us know in the comment section below, and in the poll in your top right corner. Also, like this video if you haven't already. Share this video, make sure you share it, because sharing is caring here at CubedChemistry, even with these clowns. And we are back in business. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe, turn that bell on, and also take a look in the description for links of all our social media, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
Bye bye.